back at Adelphia Coliseum here in Nashville. The Tennessee Titans have won the toss, and they will receive. A beautiful day, hardly any wind, 72 degrees, and there is Jarrett Holmes, who was signed yesterday, was on the Giants practice squad last year, kicked in a regular season game for the Bears at the end of the year and was waived then. Derek Mason is back deep and will down into the end zone. Already a break for the Giants. Mason was the special teams player of the week in the AFC. So Steve McNair, who led that dramatic game-winning drive against the Steelers on the road last week with a bruised sternum, is starting this game. Up front, Brad Hopkins, Bruce Matthews, he's been around forever, Kevin Long, who's ailing, Benji Olsen, and Fred Miller, the right tackle. Eddie George and Lorenzo Neal in the backfield. Carl Pickens, the former Bengal, along with Chris Sanders at wide receiver, and Frank Wycheck, who leads the team in receiving, the tight end. First play, and McNair swings it out to Eddie George. And George picks up about 5 yards on first down. This should be a defensive struggle today. On paper, the Giants with a terrific front seven. Cedric Jones, Keith Hamilton, Christian Peter, and Michael Strahan up front with Jesse Armstead, Mike Barrow, who used to play for Jeff Fisher in Houston, and Ryan Phillips, the other linebacker. Jason Sehorn and Dave Thomas are the corners. Sam Garnes and Sean Williams, the safeties. Secondary struggling last Sunday against Washington. 2nd and 5. The give is to George, looking for running room, and nothing there, bringing up 3rd down.
You know, watching this offense, Dick, so much of what they do is predicated on that man, Eddie George. And he's a little frustrated right now. I don't know if he's frustrated. I watched him in practice all week, and what he was doing was he was concentrating. He'd come out of practice, he'd walk back and forth. Everything was zeroed in because he's not happy with production, as they're not as a team. When he's good, he hits the hole and forces the hole. When he slows down a little bit, or you get penetration like in that last play, that's how you can nullify him.
And you know that Jeff Fisher wants to get Eddie George going today and wants to play that smash mouth brand of football. 3rd down and 5. Out of the shotgun is McNair. He's got time, and the pass is caught. Derek Mason with a first down beyond the 40-yard line. A gain of 18 yards with Emmanuel McDaniel on the tackle.
Now, Dick, if you're watching on this past weekend's game against Washington, you'd say, how the heck are these guys getting open? Well, this one was just all matchup with a safety deep down the middle, and he just used his speed and got in front of McDaniel. There was help behind him. They were doubling Wycheck underneath, so he came clean. It's a good job by the quarterback who had time.
Mason caught 5 passes last week against the Steelers. First down for Tennessee, 2 tight ends, and movement on the right side of the Giant line, left side of the Titans offensive front.
That man right there is playing very well. Keith Hamilton, 75.
Defense, encroachment number 75.
Good thing you got a good word in before the penalty.
Yeah, well, regardless of the penalty, right, he's playing very well, and it's kind of weird because he's a tall guy, and he plays high, but he is really strong. I mean, he is strong. What I like about his game right now, Howie Long would love, because he's grabbing and holding on to guys, and he's letting Michael Barrow run around and make plays.
1st and 5 after the penalty. Wycheck lines up in the slot to the right, and play action rolling out, and the pass is complete to Aaron McKinney. Aaron McKinney, who caught the game-winning pass. Aaron McKinney last week, the rookie from Florida, picks up 15 yards and a first down.
In a lot of ways, the New York Giants offense and this offense are very similar in that they need their running game. And you have to have one thing that a team says, we got to stop this, whether it's the pass or the run. In both these teams' cases, it's the run. And then you use that to set other things up, just like that last play was a perfect example.
Well, the Titans have been wide open thus far in the passing game. They're in Giant territory at the 37.
Keep your eye on Lorenzo Neal.
Terrific blocker, and there he is in a blocking mode for Eddie George, who picks up about 7 yards with Ryan Phillips making the stop.
That is exactly how Eddie George has to run. What he's got to be able to do, this is the first quarter, and you've got to get him in the mode where he's not dancing. He's not a dancer. When he dances, Eddie George can't dance. I think that's the name of a movie. When you put him and get him going what they call downhill, just taking off, he is really effective, and where it shows up is at the end of the game.
He can't dance, and we won't ask him.
That's right.
2nd and 5 at the 32. Rodney Thomas in the backfield. In motion is Chris Sanders, stumbling back, but completing the pass to Thomas. And Jason Sehorn gets a hand on Thomas, but not before he gets to the 25, and another Titan first down.
Watching this offense, you're noticing that McNair is having time to throw, but I want you to see why. But you're going to see 1, 2, 3. There's the play action. 1, 2, boom, ball is out. Anytime the ball, he takes that 2 steps after the play action, and he gets rid of it quick. It's almost impossible to get to him, and the only way to do it is you got to get pressure right up the middle.
Mike Barrow out of the game, replaced by Pete Monty. First down on the 25. Titans moving the ball impressively and controlling it, and Eddie George carries 3 or 4 defenders inside the 20-yard line, and this is a textbook drive to open the game for Tennessee.
That's very nicely done by the middle of this Tennessee offensive line. Going to watch Long, 60. Benji Olsen, 75. Bruce Matthews, 74. The inside 3, which, as you look at this in terms of matchups, that right guard and center is a matchup that the Giants should win.
Frank Wycheck lined up wide to the right. Covered by Garnes on 2nd and 4. Again to Kinney, and the rookie tight end close to the first down, and he has it inside the 15. Sean Williams making the tackle, a gain of 5, and no one's stopping the Titans here.
Dick, watch what they did. See, they take the tight end and they bring Sam Garnes outside. They swing the back this side, and then they bring the tight end back inside. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. If he's not there, look, you see, there's 1. You're looking down a field. That's not there. He looked out to the flat for his outlet. That wasn't there. Bing, just dump it right inside.
Mike Barrow back in the game at linebacker. First down. And let's see whether the stutter count brought Christian Peter across the line.
That's a good point, Dick. The hard count he's using effectively, which means that all week long he sees this defensive line coming hard off the ball.
Encroachment.
And for the second time, the Giants are guilty of getting across. This time, Christian Peter, and a 5-yard penalty marked off.
You know, I always felt like in a stadium like this, it was so important for the home team to come out and play well immediately on the first drive. Because what it does is it brings the emotion right into the game. And when they're on your side, it's really tough.
Ninth play of the drive, Matt. 1st and 5. And again, Hamilton that time. And the crowd, notice how quiet they are when the Titans have the ball, and that's by design. You'll hear them when the Giants go on offense. Larry Nemmers.
Good job by the quarterback.
Encroachment, defense, number 75. That's half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Jim Fossil can't understand it as the Giants are biting on the hard count. 3 encroachment penalties against their defense, and it'll be first down on the 5-yard line. 1st and 1.
Heck, it should be an inch.
Maybe. They give it to Eddie George. He'll get the first down. Flag is down as George gets tackled at the 1-yard line by Ryan Phillips and Sam Garnes from the secondary, and the preliminary signal holding against Tennessee.
Just like the Giants were beating themselves and put themselves in this hole, now Tennessee beats themselves to
Holding,
go back.
offense number 60. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
And it's the center, Kevin Long, who's been bothered by an ankle injury lately.
You're going to watch him right inside. What he does, now he's a helper in this mode, see? They're going to block back and then come around inside. And that's what they're going to call right at the end. Actually, I don't kind of like that. He's working on Christian Peter. That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. I think I didn't like the call.
The free country. 1st and 11 at the 15-yard line.
I'm allowed to be wrong.
Titans had the 1st and goal before the penalty. Scrambling around is McNair, and he throws the touchdown pass to Wycheck. Who else?
And here comes the emotion we were talking about, and now they're right in the game. But that play was brought to you by Brad Hopkins. Cedric Jones had a nice rush to the outside. And then McNair just stepped up at the end and allowed Hopkins to get the extra push. Watch on the outside. Watch Hopkins, 72. See, inside, now he comes back outside. Now watch, step up and a push. There's your pocket. Wycheck working down inside. Phillips needed to field 3. That's the third receiver. He took his eyes off him, beat him back inside.
That is Frank Wycheck's first touchdown reception of the season. Al Del Greco for the extra point, and the kick is good. So the Tennessee Titans score on the first possession of the game, putting a lot more pressure on the Giants' offensive idea to run the ball. We'll be right back. Back here in Nashville, Tennessee, Frank Wycheck, who suffered a concussion on the second series last week in Pittsburgh. A lot of injuries, and everyone seemed to heal up with the exception of Yancey Thigpen, who was out with a hamstring pull. But Wycheck, who has been a perennial leader now as a receiver. Ron Dixon returning the kick, the rookie from Lambeth University, about an hour and a half from here in the state of Tennessee, returns the kickoff to the 27-yard line. Timeout on the field. We'll be right back with the Titans leading 7-0. Frank Wycheck's supporters, his family is here, as they usually are, as the Titans go 80 yards on the first drive, and now you hear what may be one of the loudest crowds in the league. Even louder now, as Tiki Barber is trapped behind the line of scrimmage, and a loss of 3 yards. Terry Collins, quarterback for the Giants, tries to come back after a rough game. Lomas Brown, Glenn Parker, Dusty Ziegler, Ron Stone, and Luke Pettigrew. An improved offensive line. Barber with Greg Camello, the fullback. Amani Toomer and Ike Hilliard, the wideouts, and Howard Cross at tight end. And we'll be seeing a lot of Ron Dayne as well. 2nd and 13, and 2 flags fly. We've had a penalty-filled first half of this first quarter, Matt.
That's going to go against Kenny Holmes. Sometimes all that noise and all the emotion can work against you as well. You know, Dick.
Neutral zone infraction on the defensive team, number 99, who jumped in the neutral zone and made the offense false start. That's a 5-yard penalty.
And that was Kenny Holmes, as Matt pointed out. Let's check the Titans defense, the strength of the team. Holmes, Fisk, Thornton, and Javon Curse, who only has a sack and a half this year thus far. Eddie Robinson, Randall Godfrey, the former Cowboy, and Greg Favors. Samari Roll, Denard Walker, the corners. Blaine Bishop and Marcus Robertson are the safeties. 2nd down and 8. Terry Collins swings it out to Barber, and Barber, driving toward the sticks, is knocked out of bounds 3 yards shy of a first down. And right now, for a game break, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles. JB?
Dick and Matt, Detroit's 29th ranked offense got a boost here. Take a look at back stepping up. He was 3 for 4 in this drive. 9-yard strike to Jermaine Crowell for the score, 7-0 Detroit. And we know this is not taunting. This celebration allowed by the NFL. Yes, indeed. Let's take it back to Dick. And Dick, Matt can jump that high as well.
Thank you, JB. 3rd and 2. Ron Dayne is in the backfield. But Collins is going to pass to Pete Mitchell, who is tackled before he can get to the chains. And the Titans make it 3 and out for the Giants. Marcus Robertson, the free safety, on the key tackle.
Marcus Robertson read it perfectly because he made the break on Mitchell. Watch him. He's locked up on a man. When you're in man coverage, go jump your coverage. See nothing else except that 8 and that 3. And he played it perfectly. He was going up there anyway. Then he saw the ball. He made the tackle perfect.
Derek Mason with 172 return yards last week to return the kick from Brad Maynard. Giants go 3 and out, and a good high kick and a fair catch called for by Mason, and the Giants will down it at the 1.
He just made a mistake.
But his feet are in the end zone, and there'll be a touchback.
He played it perfectly. Ron Dixon did everything right to the end. See this line? Once you touch the line and have control of the ball, unless you let go of the ball, if he touches the ball down and then let it go and rolled into the end zone, then he's fine. See this? You can't touch that. He's touching. Nope, it's dead. That's going to come out.
That should be taken out to the 20.
Should be taken out to the 20. He did everything right. The young player intercepted it perfectly. Got down there, got behind the ball. He lost awareness of the field.
Now the Giants seem to be applauding as they leave the field.
The defender covering the punt touched the ball while he was touching the goal line, which is a touchback.
Right call.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Tennessee on the 20-yard line.
That's just the young player. That's a lesson learned by Dixon.
And he's going to feel the wrap from Jim Fossil right now.
You're watching Jim Fossil, and he's getting over it, and you have to do this. You have to correct and make him aware of where he's at on the field. And it's good to get mad at him. Coaching 101. Now the next thing is for him to build him back up because they need him in the offense.
Tennessee from the 20-yard line, leading 7-0. Here's George. George takes it out close to a 5-yard pickup. Cedric Jones is there.
Watching this New York Giant defense, I think the one player who's made a difference, and we have a Titan down right now.
And it's Brad Hopkins, the left tackle.
They need Brad Hopkins. In fact, I think Brad Hopkins has been their best offensive lineman right now. I think he's playing really good football.
Well, the Tennessee Titans certainly not in gear yet this year. They are 2-1. Every game decided by 3 points. And in the last minute, including one in overtime game. Replaced by Jason Matthews at left tackle. 2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line. And the quick to the outside to Whitecheck, the tight end, who hit immediately and will lose a couple of yards on the play. Steve McNair, 7 for 7, throwing to 5 different receivers.
Yeah, the 5 is important, but more important than that is he's getting rid of the ball quick there. That ball's, he's getting it, it's in his hand. He's not allowing the Giants to get any kind of push inside.
Hopkins is back in at left tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Derek Mason, the 3rd wide receiver. And they just barely got it off, and McNair may rue that as he is sacked by Barrow and Strahan, both coming in. And that'll bring up 4th down, and the Titans will have to kick.
Well, this is rushing the passer in the National Football League. See this? You have 2 here. I bring 3. You beat the 3rd man. He comes up inside. Barrow comes clean. It's perfect. The key to that was the coverage, because they went tight man coverage outside. We had just been talking about getting rid of it quick. So when you tighten your coverage right away, he can't release it immediately.
Tiki Barber back deep and kicking. Craig Hentrick inside his 10-yard line as the Giants hold defensively. Good kick by Hentrick, and here is Tiki Barber, who's the Giant lone threat in special teams as a return man, but he doesn't get much and is tackled at the 41-yard line. Good field position when we come back to Nashville.
Danon Sidney's working against Reggie Stevens and Omar Stoutmire. You have to have a plan. And you also have to have a plan defensively. Now, I want you to keep watching Stoutmire on the outside. Boom, that's perfectly done. So much of this Titan team is based on special teams and maintaining field position and gaining it. And it was talked about all week long, and it looked to me like these Giants have their own game plan.
Well, right now, the Giants haven't had the ball much, coming in 2nd in the league in that department to the Vikings. 1st down from the 41, and going deep to Toomer, who drops the ball. The pass from Terry Collins was there, and Toomer dropped it. And right now, for a game break, let's check in again with James Brown in Los Angeles.
Dick and Matt, here's the play that went deep, and the ball was not dropped. Minnesota's Randy Moss in motion, man coverage, bye-bye. 61 yards later, he's at pay dirt. Minnesota ties it up with the Lions at 7 in Pontiac. Back to Dick and Matt.
This is an absolutely perfect shot, because you just saw a big play happen, and all you have to do is catch the ball. You have a big play through New York, and they blew it.
Here's a quick out to Amani Toomer, who gets knocked out of bounds at the 45. Curiously, it was the wide receiver Toomer who had complained this week that he wasn't getting a chance to catch the long one. The longest Giant pass play has been 34 yards this year, so Toomer had an opportunity and let it go through his fingers.
Well, the quarterback put the ball right where it had to be. The ball was perfectly thrown. Toomer had beaten the defender, and the difference between, a bad play and a good play is making the catch.
And he has made big plays this year. 3rd and 6. And the pass intended for Toomer, incomplete. Defended by Denard Walker downfield. So once again, the Titan defense, the strength of the team, holds, and the Giants will have to kick.
They'll keep their defense on the field. They just don't quite trust New York, so they're going to keep it back there. Mason will go back. They'll keep their defense on, and you'll play your return team with your regular defense.
Maynard getting off a career best 64-yarder in his first attempt that the Giants could not keep in play. Derek Mason is back deep. And another good kick because of its height, and the Mason calls for the fair catch, and this one goes into the end zone, and let's see, it's down by the Giants.
Great play
at the 2-yard line, and Dixon, Ron Dixon, stayed in the air to knock the ball back so the Giants could down it at about the 2.
Jim Fossil got on last time. See, now he's going to build them back up. That's a great play. That's perfect. That's good coaching. Watch this on the end. It was just talking about the awareness of knowing where you're at on the field. Watch the feet. Oh, boy, that's close. That's a great play by Dixon. Remember, he's touching it now. He leads. There's the triple jump. He's fine. Oh, boy, that's real close. That's close, and a great play by Dixon.
So Ron Dixon trying to make amends for his gaffe earlier. So the Titans start from the 2-yard line. And the crowd quiets when Tennessee has the ball. Here comes pressure and the handoff to Eddie George, who takes it out to the 4.
I think Ernie Accorsi, the general manager of the New York Giants, has done a pretty good job this offseason. I think they did a good job of patching some holes. In the middle of this defense, they brought in Michael Barrow. I think that's an excellent signing, because Michael Barrow is very, very bright. One of the smart guys in this league. He loves to play. He will make people better around him. And it also brings them speed in the middle. And so in a game like this, he can latch up to Wycheck and handle him. I think that's a very key signing.
And a timeout called by the Tennessee Titans with 2nd and 8 coming up. Want to remind you the game's coming up in the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday. A big one between the Buccaneers and the Redskins in Washington. 2 of the Giants of the NFC in game 2.
Washington had himself an excellent game last week, and they needed to have it, but really it's been the defense that has helped them. Washington last week with Brad Johnson, they kind of got back on track, but they're going to have to go against Warren Sapp and that defense, who are still smarting after last week's loss.
And of course, last year in the divisional playoff, the Bucks beat the Redskins by 1 point in a thriller, and the Redskins want to make amends at least to this point.
Dick, you and I had that game, and as we were leaving the stadium, we heard the fateful cry, "Those damn Turks." Remember that? That's all they could talk about. It was funny.
Well, Dan and Matt Turk, the center, and the kicker in that case, the holder, botched up a last chance to win. 2nd and 8 at the 4-yard line, and here is Eddie George, head down, and gets to the 5-yard line. Want to remind you that the viewers in Nashville will see that matchup between the Buccaneers and the Redskins coming up after this one. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton, Matt Millen, and Pam Oliver here. The Tennessee Titans have won 10 straight games in this stadium, and they would set a record by winning their 11th in a row. And of course, they're so glad to have a beautiful playpen after all those years being vagabonds playing at Vanderbilt and Memphis, and after coming from Houston.
They still talk about having 300 people in the stands, and half of them are your family.
3rd down and 8. And again, they hand off to Eddie George, looking for the first down sticks. Powers his way and has it. Sam Garnes and Jesse Armstead try to bring Eddie George down to no avail, and it's a first down Tennessee.
Well, there used to be, when this franchise, look, low man wins. There used to be a man who's in the Hall of Fame now in Earl Campbell, and that was very Campbell-like, Campbell-esque. And all it is about leverage. Low man always wins, and it's instinctive. As you're coming upon the defender, he dropped his shoulder pads and got lower and ran right through him.
Michael Barrow, who came out of the game, you remember, on the second series, now being worked on the sideline. And that would be a huge loss if Barrow is hurt and cannot play. We have an injury timeout.
Right there on about the 24-yard line.
Barrow came over from the Carolina Panthers, who wanted to keep him, but because of salary cap problems could not, and the Giants gladly were able to fit him in.
He and Jesse Armstead, to me, are kind of the same player. They're both very bright. They both understand what you're doing, and this is the key. He understands what you're trying to do to them, and that's where players take their next step. That's what Michael Barrow does. That's what Jesse Armstead does. And when you have players like that, it makes the other players around you better. It picks their game up because there's just an understanding of what teams are trying to do to you. It's like he may have had a stinger. That's my professional opinion.
Well, you've been a middle linebacker, so you would know. So there is Armstead as Pete Monty replaces Barrow. 1st and 10 for the Titans, who own all the 6 first downs of this game. And Eddie George again trying to get George underway, picks up a couple of yards. The biggest rushing game that George has this year was 80 yards in the second game against Kansas City.
Right now it looks like Christian Peter and Keith Hamilton are winning that inside battle, and that's a battle that they have to be able to contain. They're winning the line of scrimmage, but the patience will come from Mike Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator from Tennessee, just to stay with that running game because it's a long game. Just keep on pounding.
Heimerdinger came over from Denver. Les Steckel, who was here, went to Tampa Bay. Big pitch, and the pass is caught by Wycheck, and Wycheck tackled shy of the 20-yard line. And we're winding down to the end of the first quarter. A pickup of 5. That was Ryan Phillips on the stop for the Giants defense.
You know, we watched the Giants take a shot down the field, and I mentioned earlier that both these offenses kind of mirror each other. They like the running game and play action off that, but neither team really pushes the ball down the field very much, and that's been one of the criticisms of this Tennessee offense as well. But they're going to come. You have to pick your spots and take a shot.
Well, they're missing Kevin Dyson and Yancey Thigpen, so 2 of the wide receivers out of action.
But you also have Carl Pickens. You got to use him.
Yes, we haven't seen him yet, and that is the end of the first quarter here in Nashville with the score. The Titans 7 and the Giants nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. And welcome to Adelphia Coliseum as we start the second quarter. Dick Stockton, Matt Millen, Pam Oliver. 7-0 Tennessee. The Titans face 3rd and 3 on their 19-yard line. Eddie George straight ahead and may have the first down.
Boy, if he gets it, that's all Eddie George, because John Fox, the defensive coordinator, had a great call, and he brought Sean Williams down, and he had to fit. Now that's on Sean Williams. He's got to be mad because he had the right call for the right situation. Williams came down untouched, and he was unaccounted for, and all you had to do was fit right in the hole and smack him in the face. Watch him. It's going to come down perfect. Look at this. Right into the hole. Just go attack it. Attack it. Don't wait. Good call by John Fox.
Jason Matthews is in at left tackle. Brad Hopkins is out of there. First down at the 22-yard line. And here is a play fake and a good one going deep for Chris Sanders, and it's knocked away by Jason Sehorn in a textbook play.
The first time they've taken a shot deep, and there it was. And that was on the quarterback. Jason Sehorn had the coverage, but the ball hung. You're going to watch him to the outside now. They clear underneath. There's no one there. Sehorn's got to use speed. Watch him. Perfectly done. Excellent timing by Sehorn. On the other hand, this ball hung in the air. And had he thrown it out here, Sanders had a better chance to run right through it, and McNair knew it.
And that is the first incompletion thrown by McNair, who connected on his first 8 passes. Remember, he's playing with a bruised sternum, so you notice he touched his chest there.
That's a good job of seeing it right there by you.
Handoff to Eddie George. George out to the 23-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Watching Jason Sehorn there after that play, he's been holding his hand. Wonder if he didn't fall in it wrong or something. I know those are ugly gloves, but there's a hand underneath there that hurts. At least it looks like it. You know what happens most of the time you see him shaking it? You're going to watch it. Now, the good news for Sehorn is you don't have to play cornerback with your hands. However, you do have to use them to jam and also make interceptions. But he can still play if it's banged up.
3rd and 8. Out of the shotgun. McNair with time. Drills it. Pass caught. 1st down. And carried by Derek Mason up to the 41-yard line. A gain of 17. And Mason valuable besides his special teams play.
Anatomy of a completion. You're working on your man. See what he did there perfectly. He got the hips turned of the defender. That was beautiful. He had the defender working perfectly, Emmanuel McDaniel. And once his hips were turned to the outside, that's when he broke underneath.
And the pitch to George, wending his way up the middle, trying to cut back and stop for a loss or gain of a game and a half. Right now, let's check in with Pam Oliver. Pam?
Well, Dick, linebacker Michael Barrow suffered a pinched nerve in his neck. Now they're trying to get some different shoulder pads for him because the current shoulder pads are uncomfortable. He's not wearing those at all. He is expected to return to the ball game. Back to you.
All right, Pam, thank you very much. A key operative on the Giants side. Meanwhile, they're working on the left foot of Frank Wycheck on the Tennessee side.
I saw Ronnie Barnes, their head trainer, down there working at back of his neck.
2nd and 8. Sanders went in motion to the right. McNair incomplete. And he was going to the tight end, Aaron Kinney.
Now, what you've seen in the last 3 pass attempts is different from what you've watched through the whole first quarter as you look at Barnes and Barrow, because what you're doing now is they've gone to a 5-step drop. Remember earlier, Dick, we were talking about all the short stuff. He hadn't been pushing the ball down the field. Well, now he's going to a 5-step drop because he's established the line of scrimmage. This is Heimerdinger's thinking. Establish the line of scrimmage. Now get back there. They're not getting any rush. And so you can take the 5-step drop.
Bashir Yamini, a undrafted rookie from Iowa, number 84, is in at wide receiver. He's got a world of speed. 3rd down and 8. And the pass to Mason. And Derek Mason running for the 1st down. And out of bounds at the 45. And right now he has been the offensive hero for the Titans. And Bruce Matthews slow to get up.
What that is, Dick, that's the Chicago Bears Gary Crowton screen. And what they'll do is they're going to just throw it outside, take a step. Now get people down the field and get them blocked. You get the blockers out in front as receivers. The rule is they can't block before the ball's caught. But you get them down on top of the coverage right away, and the ball comes out, and you just find your way through.
3rd catch by Mason. Pickup of 13. Titans on the Giant 44. And here is Eddie George, who is upended. Maybe a yard, that's all. It was Cornelius Griffin and Ryan Hale in on the play. The Titans scoring on the first drive of the game, helped by 3 defensive offsides against the Giants as McNair hit Frank Wycheck for a 15-yard strike. Deadly silent when the Titans have the ball, but this crowd comes alive to try to confuse the Giant offense. 2nd and 10. Deep drop this time. Pressure from Thomas. And the pass incomplete. Trying to go up the middle to Yamini. And that will bring up 3rd and long. So that was Dave Thomas on the corner blitz.
John Fox again. He's just going to send him off the corner. And now he does not get there. He beats Matthews. But what he did is he had the whole process speeded up. Now watch. He knows he's in trouble, so he just takes it off and throws back. And it's a poor throw because he had him open inside, Yamini, but he threw it back behind him.
Thomas with the unfortunate circumstance of playing 3 times while member of the Jaguars last year and losing to the Titans all 3 times.
Hopkins and Jason Matthews has been, and Hopkins is on the sideline still.
3rd and 10, 4 wide receivers, empty backfield. Garnes putting pressure on, but this pass caught by the big rookie tight end, Aaron Kinney, and another Tennessee 1st down inside the 30.
Well done. Well done by McNair. Good job of feeling and understanding the pocket. Step up. Here comes Garnes. He knows he has the tackle, so you step up. It's solid in the middle. And then he's able to find him across the middle. And as you watch Kinney, the tackle's made by Monty. Monty is taking the place of Michael Barrow, and that's a matchup that the Giants felt they could win with Barrow.
An impressive start for McNair, 11 of 14, 114 yards. Titans a first down on the 28. There's a play action pass, and it's not a good one, intended for rookie tight end Mike Leach. Tennessee Titans relying on their defense, but Steve McNair off to a brilliant start in the passing department. Eddie George getting a lot of play with 12 carries, and Derek Mason, the top receiver thus far for Tennessee.
Amazing how quiet this place is. When they're on offense, they just sit on their hands.
17th play, Eddie George, and it'll be third down after a pickup of a couple. Third and about 8. Sean Williams making the tackle, and if I didn't look out here at the Coliseum and see people, I'd think that we're playing to an empty stadium.
Yeah, what you look out there and say it must be a big old barbecue going, because there is the best smell of barbecue in the air out here right now. If I wouldn't be sitting on my hands. They'd be going to the food stand.
And the Giants call their first timeout. Maybe Matt will get a snack right now when we have a break. We'll be right back. So calling their first timeout. Listen to this. Look at this ball control story. Giants have hardly tasted offense today.
Not even a sniff. Barbecue's been in their nostrils.
18th play of the drive here. Third down and 8. Tennessee's been effective on third down, and they remain so. Pass to Eddie George, and he gets inside the 10-yard line. That's been the story. Tennessee has converted on all but one third down opportunity.
And how they converted this time is a matchup that I would like. They're going to run everybody off, and then they're going to take Jesse Armstead and match him underneath. And Jesse gave a little bit too much of a cushion. Eddie George saw the cushion, took advantage of it, made his break prior to running up on him. It was enough for the first.
19-yard pickup. Eddie George with the run after the catch. First and goal at the 7. Titans threaten. And here is George. Eddie George is going to get in. Touchdown, Titans.
That was very well executed. And I want to show young players out there something about effort. Because Lorenzo Neal is the key blocker. And in the hole, Lorenzo Neal fell down. And watch this. It's an OT. There's the first one. Watch. He trips. He stays with it. He stayed with it on his hands and knees. Still got his block. And it's 6. It's a great play by Lorenzo Neal.
You have loved Lorenzo Neal every place he has been for just that reason. He's a terrific lead blocker. Al Del Greco to try to add the 14th point to the Titans. And he does. So the Giants find themselves in the same boat they were last week against Washington. In a hole, no points to show for it, and trying to run the ball. We'll be right back. Yard touchdown run by Eddie George. Well, after what the coaches told us, what has held form so far, Matt?
Well, I think the biggest thing that Jim Foss was talking to us about last night is they had to get off the field. They just had to get off the field, and Tennessee's just done a fantastic job on third down to continue drive. That's the one thing. And then I think all the talk in New York about having big plays in your offense, well, Amani Toomer dropped a big play, and you can't do that. You can't blow opportunities like that.
Kickoff by Hendrick and Ron Dixon on the return. Ron Dixon down the sideline. And finally knocked out of bounds by the punter, or the kickoff man, Craig Hendrick. And a good return just short of midfield. 37-yard return for Dixon. We'll be right back. Out to a 14-0 lead midway through the second quarter. Another impressive drive. This one 98 yards. Eddie George with the touchdown. 19 plays. Talk about ball control. That's been the Giants game so far this year. From the 48, Ron Dane with his first carry of the game, and he'll lose yardage. Dane carried only 5 times last week against the Redskins, stopped by Randall Godfrey.
But, you know, Dick, you can see all those things going on. What you can't have is this. You have the opportunity to make a big play. Push the ball down the field. Gain some momentum. Give a little life to your offense. Give them something to get excited about. And Amani Toomer was talking about that, you know, not throwing me the ball. He's got squat for catches today.
That was in the first quarter when the Giants were trailing by 7. Ike Hilliard in motion. Second down. And the pass through Pete Mitchell's hands will bring up 3rd down and 10.
Well, if you're going to have any time to throw, you're going to have to block Javon Kearse. Luke Pettigrew does a nice job on him here. Tight end to that side, so it slows him down. And Pettigrew comes down and gets a cut block on him. And actually, you'll see him at the end. He comes up hobbling. Javon Kearse is a speed player. He's got great speed on the edge. And when you take that speed away from him, he becomes average.
And he's replaced by Keith Embray, who played well last week. Crowd on its feet, 3rd and 10. Collins, and a flag is down, and the pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage. It'll be incomplete pending the penalty marker, so Kearse is on the sideline, and this will be a holding penalty against the Giants. And Jeff Fisher likes the way things have gone thus far.
Offense, number 34. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Greg Camella, the fullback, guilty of holding, so 4th down, penalty declined, and the Giants will punt.
Watch Camella working on the inside. They just grabbed him and pulled him down.
Trying to keep Eddie Robinson away from his quarterback, so Derek Mason back deep and Brad Maynard kicking for the 3rd time. And another good high kick, and once more the ball bounding into the end zone, this time a touchback. The Titans have some injury problems with Frank Wycheck and Brad Hopkins. They're questionable as to their return. Titans have the ball at the 20-yard line, and it's been an incredible story of ball control. The Titans with 2 touchdown drives of 80 and 98 yards for their 14 points.
Boy, and the 3rd downs in those things, Dick. And, you know, the guy who's come up big on those 3rd downs has been Eddie George. Remember, ran through Sam Garnes for 1, and then the catch down inside the 10. That was big.
Barrow still out with the neck injury. Pete Monty is in there, and Eddie George checked that. Rodney Thomas on the call, and nothing there, bringing up 2nd down. The Giant defense has been on the field an incredible long time today, and the offense looking to get something going for the first time. Real tough on these guys.
Yeah, but it's going to happen, Dick. And the defense just has to stay with it, because what they're going to see now is just the patience of Heimerdinger's offense. They're going to continue to run the football. They have to just get off the field on 3rd down. That'll be their big cry from here on out.
Frank Wycheck, who is out with a sprained foot, is back. Play action, roll out, pass, and it's caught by Wycheck. And Frank Wycheck with a flag down after the tackle by Ryan Phillips. A gain of 22 yards. He caught the first touchdown pass to open the scoring for the Titans.
I think this is smart football. I think it's an excellent call, working off your running game. And you have a mobile quarterback, you just combine them, and here it is.
There is no foul for a face mask on the play. 1st down.
Watch him on the top side. They're just going to drag him all the way across. See how they cleared this side out on the bottom part? And they can use the feet and the mobility of the quarterback. You just start pound, pound, pound. Now you come play action. You roll them out to the side. You buy some time, and you allow your receiver to come to you.
Spreading the ball around has been Steve McNair. Most of the passes going to the tight end. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Rodney Thomas, the tailback, and nothing doing, and we'll lose a couple on that play. Back to the 40-yard line, and it was Hamilton and Peter, the 2 defensive tackles.
Keith Hamilton that's what Keith Hamilton does. This is what I've been watching him do pretty good. Watch him inside. He's going to get matched up on long inside. It's a matchup he should win. And that's tough for the center. But that's a great play by Hamilton, because he's offset. The center has to take a lateral step, so you lose all of your power. Hamilton sees that, so he just comes up and blows him back into the backfield and then makes the play.
Eddie George back in. Gets the handoff on 2nd and 13. Dives forward almost to the original line of scrimmage. Sam Garnes, the hard-hitting, strong safety, in on the play. It'll be 3rd and long.
This is Michael Strahan. And this is a player who's got to make a lot of plays. Now, you can't get blocked by a tight end. I mean, Frank Wycheck is a good receiver. If you get blocked by a tight end, I think that's not good. You know how I feel about it. I get mad about this. Michael Strahan should dominate that.
When you say that's not good, we can have a bubble above your head as far as what you really mean.
And I like it. I think Michael Strahan is a good player, but you can't get blocked by Frank Wycheck or any tight end.
3rd and 10 from the 43. This is where the Titans have killed the Giants thus far. And McNair is going to run with it. And he slides for the first down. They do it again into Giant territory at the 47.
Well, you got it. You got it. And you know how he started the whole thing? Michael Strahan got a little push. He's going to work out here on Fred Miller. Watch how he's going to dip. He's going to get to the outside edge, and he's going to force him to come up inside. Now watch McNair. McNair sees it, but look at the void. Look at the void, and then keep in mind, he dives for this. He goes head first and not feet first. So whatever he gets, he gets.
8 for 9 on 3rd down conversions, including 4 for 4 on that last scoring drive. So the Titans march again. First down on the 46 of the Giants. Eddie George just dives forward to get about 4 yards. He's a different style John Riggins. It seems that he gets hit and he dives forward and gets 2.
Same thing. And what'll happen, Dick, we'll keep our eye on it as this game goes on. All of a sudden he's diving for 5, he's diving for 6, because you just start wearing guys out. The key to him as they go with the hurry up right here is the interior 3 are getting a good push. You notice he's always able to step up in the pocket. That's because those inside 3 guys are giving him a pocket to step into.
They get the playoff with 12 on the play clock.
There it is again.
2nd and 7, and they go the other way, and short of the first down, Chris Sanders is tackled immediately by Jason Sehorn. But the Titans move the ball to the 38-yard line of the Giants. You saw before the fact that the lights are on here at Adelphia Coliseum. We started with sunshine today, but now we have overcast as the Titans get to the line fast again.
And they're working the whole clock, too.
3rd and 2. This should be easy for them. Chris Sanders on the catch. Out of bounds inside the 30, and yet another first down. That's 9 of 10 on 3rd downs for the Titans today.
This is a completely different looking Titan team than we've seen on tape. Right. Not even close. I'm ridiculous. Look at there, going with the hurry up here. What that does defensively is it forces you to stay with the same personnel group, and then you just run your offense from the line of scrimmage.
4 receivers. McNair with a lot of time. Mason, touchdown. $29.
And he beat Emmanuel McDaniel 26 on the outside. Just got behind him with speed. You're going to watch right here. Clear to the outside. Really nicely done. I mean, that is so well done. He's did everything right. It was drawn up right. He had a lot of time to throw. Mason beat him to the top side, and it was over. Carl Pickens was important in that because he sucked the defender up and cleared that whole quadrant out.
Al Del Greco makes it 21-0 Tennessee. So a whole load of problems on the shoulders of Jim Fossil because, you know, that thunder and lightning that we saw in the first 3 games of the season, pretty hard to go that way when you're down by 3 scores.
Well, it's tough, Dick. I mean, there's no question about it. You're going to watch him right in here. See, here he's going to take it and draw it back, and now that opens this up. His help is coming from the middle of the field. It's too hard to get there. And because Pickens drew that corner back inside, now McDaniel is on an island effectively from the slot with the receiver who has a 2-way go. And he takes the outside. That's tough. The only way to beat that is to get pressure right away. And there was none. It was just step and throw.
Second touchdown pass by McNair. And for Derek Mason, he has caught 4 passes for 77 yards and the touchdown. So again, the Titans scoring drives of 80, 98, and 80 yards, and that is a backbreaker.
Well, they have the third downs, number one, and then when they do throw, they've had a lot of time to throw.
Greg Hendrick kicking off, and Ron Dixon, who had a 37-yard kickoff return last time, hits a brick wall and is stopped at the 25. James Cameron, the director of The Terminator, brings you his new series, Dark Angel. The 2-hour premiere kicks off Tuesday at 9, 8 Central, after the season premieres of that 70s show and Titus right here on Fox. So now the Giants face a huge burden. Javon Kearse, who was limping off before, back in there now for the Titans. Starting from the 25. Ron Dayne in at running back. And the slant is complete to Amani Toomer, and the Giants get a first down. That is their first down, and it comes with nearly 2.5 minutes to go in the first half.
That's well done. The Giants have got to establish something here. They haven't had the ball much at all. The defense has been on the field. Offensively, they've just got to establish something, but more than that, down 21, they have to have points at the end of this thing.
From the 38-yard line, another play fake.
Oh, he's wide open.
And a lot of time, and this pass to Hilliard, and it is broken up that time by Denard Walker.
Dick, he had Amani Toomer wide open. Wide open in the middle of the field. He was crossing all the way. Watch him. Come to the outside. This is his aiming point. It's down here. And there was nothing there. Marcus Robertson on the top. Nobody underneath. Blaine Bishop saw it late.
He went back the ball.
Yes, that's another missed opportunity. Don't beat yourself.
2nd and 10 at the 38. Tiki Barber now the back. But they give it to Camella, and the fullback rambles forward for a gain of about 5 yards as we get to our 2-minute warning. It has been all Tennessee. Ball control, defense, you name it. 21-0. We'll be back. It's a halftime report. JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have scores and highlights from around the league. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second statistics as well. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
Steve McNair is playing very, very well. He's getting rid of the ball quick, but he's also taking some shots down the field. And I think it's his offensive line who's the difference in this game.
3rd and 6. Fumble, and it's recovered by Tennessee, and it's picking it up is Marcus Robertson. So at least in this first half, the roof is caved in on the Giants, and the Titans taking advantage. A fumble on the snap.
It's amazing. And you know, when it's like one of those Morton Salt games. When it rains, it pours. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong for the New York Giants. The good news, as you watch the fumble exchange, which is as elementary to football as there is in this game, the good news is you can't play this bad a whole game.
And you don't have a rain. You can't put the tarp on and call it after 4.5 innings either. Turnover margin. What a difference 1 year makes, but that's the turnover today in the first of the game. And here is Rodney Thomas going around the right side, and Thomas picking up about 4 on first down.
You know, Dick, in this game, of course, in an Olympic year, you always got to like the hurdles. Rodney Thomas is thinking the same thing. So if you can't go through them, you go over them. Jason Sehorn ends up with Pete Monty finishing that thing, but actually when you watch that, Jason Sehorn, you gotta run through a guy. You gotta wrap your arms.
Thomas had only 1 carry coming into this game. Now 2nd and 6. Pressure up the middle on McNair, but he gets it off, and the pass is ruled incomplete to Frank Wycheck.
Nice job by Williams. Just get up there and make the tackle. Jump in your coverage right away. One of the things that this Tennessee offense is trying to do is they're just using Wycheck or Eddie George back underneath. They're running the people deep, getting the wide receivers, and they're creating separation and room for that one receiver to work against either a safety or a linebacker.
3rd down and 7 from the 34. Titans have failed on only one 3rd down conversion in this first half. And there's the pass to Mason, and he can't hold on. Got one hand on it, and it was Reggie Stevens who was beaten. But the Titans are now 9 of 11 in 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, well, you're watching just the end of this. Eddie Mason stopped his route. He hesitated in the middle of it. And if he wouldn't have hesitated, this would have been another big play. Derek Mason, so many things are going so fast, I mess them up. You know, watch Derek Mason right here. See, he slowed down right at the end.
And here's Rodney Thomas running for it. On fourth down, and the clock stops with 1 minute remaining in the first half. Titans get to the 29-yard line. Well, if they're so successful on 3rd downs, why not give it a shot on 4th downs? But now the Giants will take over.
Well, and because, Dick, also their offense, I mean, their defense has just been, they've been absolutely crushing the Giant offense. So why not? You're going to say, okay, you haven't done a thing to me with your offense, so I'm going to take a shot.
And that's the defense. That is the heart and soul of this team. Jeff Fisher, who played defensive back for Buddy Ryan's Chicago Bear teams, likes the hard-nosed style. 1 minute remaining in the half. First down at the 29. Kerry Collins fires to Ike Hilliard into Titan territory and tackled by Marcus Robertson at the 45-yard line. 26 yards, the biggest Giant offensive play of the game.
That's well done. Working outside, he had time to throw, and there was the hurry up. This is nice. Got to be quicker.
Here comes Curse. Flag is down, and the pass thrown underneath to Joe Juravicius, and a minimal gain pending the penalty.
Offside, defense number 90, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
First try to anticipate the count on the shotgun, and a 5-yard penalty against the Titans. So it'll be 1st and 5 at the 40, and on cue the crowd starts to erupt. Another flag is down. First got in and claiming that there should be a fumble, but a holding call maybe make that moot with the Giants guilty of holding.
Dick, this is going to be a hold on Luke Pettigrew working against Javon Curse.
That's right.
And what it is.
Holding, 77.
Yeah.
Penalty decline. 2nd down.
I was watching Curse. Curse calls this extreme get off. Now keep in mind, when everybody is so loud, you have to go to other measures, a silent count, and that's what they're going to call that at the end. Actually, it doesn't bother me that much. But they go with the silent count, and the tackle can't hear. So he'll hold the hand of the guard next to him. The guard can hear the center make the calls, and then when the ball snaps, you just let the hand go and you let him play.
And they're going to review the play. So it's in the last 2 minutes. So the replay officials upstairs, not the coaches, decide that they want to take a look and review this. They want to review to see whether it is a fumble, whether the arm was going forward.
This goes back to the tuck rule. That was a fumble, it looked like. Anytime the arm is coming forward at any point, as long as it starts forward, it's considered an attempted pass. Watch. It's going back. I would say that's a fumble.
Now the Giants recovered it, so it's a matter of where the ball will be spotted. Luke Pettigrew recovered the fumble, so it won't go over to the Tennessee Titans, but the question is, where will they spot the ball with 27 seconds?
Also, it would become an incomplete pass and stop the clock as well.
Tennessee Titans taking it to the Giants here in the first half. Remember, Tennessee has won 10 straight games. All 10 they played.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The quarterback did fumble the football. It'll be second down. Penalty is still declined.
So second down and 11 coming up at the 46-yard line of Tennessee.
Where's that move out?
27 seconds left in the Giants with 2 timeouts remaining.
Got to push this down the field here.
And Collins into a crowd, and the pass is intercepted. Dean and Sidney. And that is the first interception of the year by the Titans. And it snuffs out the Giants' last bit in the half.
There's a difference between pushing the ball down the field and forcing it, Dick, and that's what he tried to do. You can't force that thing. Keep in mind you have safety help deep. So he just, that wasn't very good.
The Titans, aware that they had not intercepted a pass in the first 3 games of the year, over the head of Amani Toomer. And the Titans, with 16 seconds remaining, will get the ball on the 42-yard line, and a rough outing not only for that man, but practically the entire Giants squad here in this first half.
Everything's been going so right for him at this point. They may as well just throw the ball up and see what happens instead of taking a knee, which they'll do.
And McNair goes underneath and intended for Thomas. Flag is down.
It's going to be roughing the passer.
Personal foul. Defense, number 75. Roughing the passer. 15 yards. First down.
Right now, the Giants are not playing with any kind of poise either.
I don't know about that one. I guess
Hamilton arguing
they're
that
not happy. I guess what they're saying is Larry Nemmers is the referee, saying that he had a chance to stop and come off that. He took the one step, and then they'll allow you one. They won't allow you more than that. I didn't like that one. How about you?
No, it didn't look like it was worthy of that call. But that's the way things have gone for the Giants here in this first half. McNair, with 9 seconds to go in the first half, completes it. And that is Carl Pickens with his first catch of the game on a timeout called by Tennessee. And they're going to go for 3 with 6 seconds left in the half.
You see Jeff Fisher there on the sideline. He was looking at Alan Lowry, and he was going, you know what, I thought maybe we could have one more shot, just one more. Again, time to throw, and because of that, Pickens is working on the outside, just sitting down in that zone. And you see how he got his body? Now watch. See, he wants. See, okay, go ahead and kick it. He thought he could get one more off, get the timeout, get one more. But he's doing the right thing here by kicking it.
Al Del Greco with a streak of 14 consecutive field goals, the longest active streak in the National Football League, and he is 6 for 6 so far this year. So in a first half in which it has been total dominance. Not 85% or 90. It has been total dominance by the Tennessee Titans, and will try to add 3 more points to their lead. This will be a 46-yarder with Craig Hentrick holding. And Del Greco misses as it hit the upright and came down. So the 14 field goals in a row end there, as the first half also comes to an end. But Jeff Fisher's Titans hear the cheers from the capacity crowd as the Titans thoroughly dominated the Giants in every phase. As the kick hits the goalpost and comes back. That is the end of the first half with the score: the Titans 21 and the Giants nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Lead the Giants.